When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
The thing I would say is that the first step in this process needs to be an all-out effort to finally put to rest the illegal immigration problem in America. And this involves the construction of strategic fencing, but also the deployment of specific technologies like ground sensors and cameras and drones and so forth to secure the southern border with Mexico.
Pre-1970 immigrants were more educated, made more money, were more likely to buy houses, and 30% of them went home. Now no one goes home. They go on welfare. And they are far more likely to be on welfare than the native population.
Rescind the Dream Act executive order.
Have to.
DACA.
We have to make a whole new set of standards. And when people come in, they have to come in.
So you're going to split up families.
Chuck,
you're going to deport children.
Chuck, no. We're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep them together out.
Do you stand with violent, criminal, illegal aliens? Or do you stand with American citizens? Do you stand with our sons and daughters and those at risk of violent crime?
The American dream is dead.
Throughout the United States' long history, immigrants have played an integral role as the backbone of shaping this nation. In the 1820s, a large influx of Irish immigrants came to America and faced prejudice. The Chinese came in the 19th century as well, facing racist policies such as the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 that prohibited the immigration of Chinese immigrants to the United States for the next 10 years.
We remember that the first immigrants into the United States were the Pilgrims, and that if they had asked for proper documentation, if the Native Americans had asked for proper documentation, probably the Pilgrims would not have made it. They would have probably been put in detention centers, or they would have been kicked out.
We have a bipolar relationship with immigrants. So we want them, then we don't want them. Yeah, we want them, no, we don't want them. The resentment, I guess, to conclude this, fluctuates. Sometimes it's love, and then other times it's resentment. At the one moment, we need them to work in the fields. We need them to do the jobs that many others may not want to do. But then, for example, when it came to the Great Depression, oh, well, no, we don't want them now. They're taking our jobs.
Uneducated, unskilled labor jobs that a significant portion of immigrants feel are jobs that Americans won't do. And and at times when immigrants, undocumented workers were targeted, those sectors suffered.
The fact is, undocumented immigrants already are paying billions in taxes to state and local governments, and if they are allowed to work in the countries legally, their state and local tax contributions will increase significantly.
So immigrants are, they create businesses, they become entrepreneurs at a higher rate than the average American. And you always need innovation, you always need new businesses to make sure our economy continues going forward towards the future.
The system in the United States is set to make it a lot more difficult for immigrants to succeed. There are many restrictions that separate families, which many don't realize.
We've got some children here who, when they go with their mother on protest, they wear T-shirts that say, "Please don't deport my daddy."
The United States definitely has to improve the immigration situation because many categorize it as being broken.
I know somebody here who, after having been separated from his wife for 10 years, she dies. He is not able to go back to the barricades with his own wife. That's what the reality of immigration, not the stuff that these politicians throw up because they're just talking out of the top of the head, using the same kind of racist talk that they're hearing around them. But this is what we deal with daily.
Politicians are using words like illegal as a derogatory term for immigrants, which comes out racist and disrespectful. The fact is that we are all human beings and should be treated as equals.
That word illegal, and also another word that comes to mind too, is alien. Those two words, illegal and alien, are very disrespectful. They're very derogatory.
No person is illegal in this world. People can be without documentation. People can be without a proper visa. But illegal? I mean, so that comes from an ignorance of what the real political situation is. And a lot of people say it goes back to just that sense of Western European male-dominated sense of superiority over everyone else. Why else did they have the idea that they could come to the Americas and conquer these empty lands? Who said that they had the right to take over from other people?
What comes to my mind is this very famous writer and poet from Spain. Her name is Rosa Montero, and she says, "No hay muro capaz de contener los sueños." There is no wall that can contain dreams. So immigrants all over the world, not just in the United States, are going to continue to try to seek a better life. There's no question about it. I think it's just part of being a human being. As far as the future, we're going to continue to have immigration, people coming into the country legally and illegally.
The hegemony has often proven a fear or even hate of immigrants, but without immigrants and the labor they are bringing, many infrastructures that are major achievements in America's history, like the Transcontinental Railroad, would not have happened. Even today, the same conflict is still not happening. The xenophobia of the majority creates the state of an animosity towards immigrants, but at the same time needs them to labor towards these goals that without the presence of immigrants would not be possible.